Hello, hello. How you doing, my friends? This is Minor here. Well, I think it's been really a long time since I recorded a live video in English, particularly in this platform. I'm used to recording in Spanish, but for whatever reason, I felt like sharing in English this video, and I have a few thoughts and insights in my head that I would love to share with you. So I don't know. I've been a lot into my head, obviously, not obviously, but for whatever reason, I've been lots into my head thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I do it in Spanish, which is my main language? And this is part of the ramble that I want to share with you really quick today, because it's funny how we behave in different scenarios, and reality is that if we can go deeper than our rational, messy thinking in our daily basis, we could really achieve lots of things. So a couple of things that I want to share really quick. Hopefully I want to spend a day sharing this with you guys. So last week I had the opportunity to spend the whole week from Monday to Friday in an intensive event with my mentor, Michael Neal. And this was supposed to be a week of exploration about coaching business, but in all honesty, at least to me, it ended up being a whole week spent going deep into the understanding of the mind and how we truly really operate, and how is it that our behavior happens as human beings. And so the funny thing is that after the week spending in coaching conversation with fellow coaches around the world, and going deep in the conversation with our mentor, the day after the event on Saturday, I had to give a talk to a small group of students from college. It was a group of, I think, around 15 students between 17, 18 years old, who are getting closer to finalizing college before going to university. And I had the chance to have this talk with them, and the opportunity to have an open topic for whatever I wanted to share with them. And so I thought about it, and I decided, other than just giving the talk a title, a name, I decided not to prepare anything at all for this conversation. So I went completely empty. I didn't have any notes. I didn't have any bullet points. I didn't have any kind of particular message that I wanted to share with them. I just decided to show up. I just decided to be there and see what happened in the conversation. And I gotta say, it was something beautiful. I've given talks to hundreds, maybe even thousands. I have spoken in English and Spanish virtually in big rooms, to executives, to leaders, to coaches. But it was just beautiful having this conversation with these young people. I'm talking about this group of people who are just getting started on life with big dreams and aspirations, but also with lots of fears and conditionings. And that's what I used for the talk. The conditioning in our minds. So just to give you some context, and there is a point after this story, but just to give you some context, I just asked them, well, let's talk about conditioning. Because I really didn't want to go there and just tell this bunch of kids, well, this is what is supposed to be happening in your life, or this is the route that you should take, or yes, make sure that you gotta go to university, or it's not my place, it's not my job. And I do believe it shouldn't even be the job of a parent. So what I did is I just opened the space for us together to start chatting about conditioning. What is conditioning? Where is it coming from? Are we all infected with it? And we are. So the nice thing was that after just a few minutes before they started thinking, before talking, obviously they were kind of considering what to say, I don't want to look bad in the room, and I'm going to just wait for the other person to talk before I decide to do it. That kind of thing that happens even in the boardrooms, right? Even in the executive rooms, everywhere actually. And they started opening up. They started opening up and sharing. And I asked them, where do you think, and this question is for you too, where do you think that conditioning has come to your life? Where did you got it? Let's get all agreed that we are all conditioned. Can we agree on that? And of course we are. And of course we agreed. So then we explore where is it coming from? Where are we getting conditioned? And of course, many of the answers were from our parents, from society, from religion, from the marketing ads that we see every day. And so we went on and on into exploring how that conditioning looked like, and especially how does that conditioning affect the decisions that we take, any decision that we make. So after exploring for a while and talking about conditioning, we went into what if we could look ahead in our lives without letting our conditioning to stop us, whether it is thinking about it, dreaming about it, or even taking actions. How is it that our conditioning is stopping us from taking action towards that thing that we say that we want? So anyway, there are lots of things that happen in there, but today something happened to me that gave me the idea of sharing this message. I reached out to a former client from years ago. After something that I read, I reached out to her and said that I would love to have a conversation, an exploration with her if she was up to having it. And the answer that I got was, Minor, I would love to, but you have helped me so much, and I don't wanna waste your time. That's pretty much the message that I got back. And I gotta sit down and reflect on that answer. And this time particularly, I could see that that's what we do. And sometimes I have done it too, which is, even though I want something, and I've seen it with my clients and many people, even though we want something, we let our small thinking to stop us from moving forward. So then we create stories in our head, and we trust them, we believe them, and we act based on them. So here's a little drawing that I want to show you real quick. If we could just see. So in this picture, in this drawing, you can see the figure of a person and lots of line that is supposed to be the little mind, which is my mind, your mind, our mind, individually. It's this space where we have all the teachings, behaviors, memories, conditioning, everything that we have learned in life. Right here. In the middle of the mess of every day, in the middle of the stress, in the middle of the sadness, in the middle of the emotions, in the middle of whatever is going on in your life and the thinking you're having in the moment. So everything, all of that is happening in here, in what I call the little mind, our mind, right? But at the very same moment, there is wisdom all around us. There's the voice of God, if you are a believer, and that's how you call it. There's universe, there's wisdom, infinite intelligence, whatever name you want to call it. If you want, you can call it one. That wisdom that's everywhere and it's impacting everybody at every single second of our lives. So in the very same moment that I'm dealing with all my, I don't know, mess in my head, wisdom is around me, and it's around everybody. And what I came up with this drawing because what came to my mind when I read that answer was, wow, it's amazing the way that we actually stop ourselves, even when life is showing us thousands of opportunities to be better, to do better, to create a different reality in our lives. But the thinking in the moment is more than likely based on the condition that we have. And if we don't allow some space, some time to be conscious about the opportunities that we have, then we may miss many opportunities. So for example, years ago, there was a coach that I got to meet online. And I was following the guy. I really liked what he shared, the way he shared it. But back in time, I was really struggling on money. I was doing terrible. My business wasn't working. I was constantly on this, scarcity kind of mindset. I was really trying hard to create clients, to make it work, but nothing was working actually. And so I didn't have any money to invest on myself at the moment. However, this coach kept reaching to me, checking out on me, checking on how I was doing, how is it going. And usually, every now and then, he used to offer me a coaching conversation just to see how I was doing and how he could help. So it's pretty much what I did with my former client. And what came to my mind was that even though I didn't have any money to hire him, and I knew that the guy was offering me this conversation, this space, one way or another as part of a process to, at some point, get me as a client. I knew that. We all know that. We know when somebody is reaching out, and if that's his business, but obviously he's looking to create a client. So I knew it. And I also knew I didn't have the money to hire him. But every single time he offered me the opportunity to have a conversation, I grabbed it. I took it immediately. I didn't hesitate. I just jumped into it. I knew how valuable it was. I knew that I could get an insight or something from there that would help me see things differently. And every time he offered, I got it. Now he also knew that I wasn't in a position to hire him. And most of the time he never offered me a process, a program, or a sale in any way or matter. He just served me. And after 2 years doing that, coming back and forward, offering me these coaching conversations or sharing with me some resources that I could use in my business, he kept helping me. He kept serving me. 2 years after, one day, I reached out to him and say, man, give me your price, let's work together. 2 years after I was in a position to hire a coach, I wanted to have a coach, and obviously I was gonna reach out to him. I did it. But I was thinking, after the answer that I got this morning, what would have happened if, because of my leader mind, because of my conditioning, my fears, my hesitations, my doubts, Why not? Even my ego, I would have said, well, no way, I'm not getting this for free. I gotta pay for it. And if I'm not in a position to pay, then I'm not getting it. And I'm not gonna be wasting time for anybody or anything. Or I don't know. I mean, we come up with some sort of stupid things in our head. And what would have happened if should I have gone that way? Because 2 years after I ended up hiring him, it was one of the best decisions ever. My business grew, I changed, I grew. Lots of things happened. My life is been getting better and better and better year after year. And in the same way, many times I've seen the opportunity of something. And here's the thing, here's the point. If by the time I realize there is an opportunity in front of me, I cannot see the opportunity, but it completely into my head. I am into the mess that I have in my head. If I'm only thinking about, I don't know, my victim mindset, my troubles, my lack of money, my whatever it is, the frustration that I have in life, or any thoughts that are coming which are not helping, if I'm completely there, then I probably miss the opportunities. So we are all conditioned. Our mind is completely full of thousands of thoughts coming in and out every second. In the midst of making more money for our needs, whether that is from my business, whether that is, having to go to work, even if it is a work that I hate or I don't like. In the midst of relationship issues, I don't know, in the midst of health issues. I mean, just in the midst of life. We have thousands of things in here, but if we just learn to slow down, to make a pause, and kind of open the doors so we can grab some of that wisdom, then we probably take better decisions. And certainly we can be conscious enough not to let go of the opportunities that are constantly showing up to us and that unfortunately many times we don't see because we are completely deep into our own thinking. So anyway, after having a talk with those young guys and girls, it was exciting to see the possibilities that we have in life. It was exciting to see the spark of life in themselves and the many possibilities out there for them to create, just if they give themselves a break from their very own thinking. Now, this is not exclusive to them. This is actually applicable to all of us. It doesn't matter the country we are, it doesn't matter the language we spoke, it doesn't matter anything at all, really. It's all about learning how to be conscious enough to realize about the thinking that I'm having in the moment and the possibilities that I have to access this wisdom so I can listen and take actions without fear. Is it possible? Absolutely. Does it happen 24/7? Not sure, because we are used to get lost in our thinking. But well, anyway, hopefully there's something for you in this ramble of 20 minutes. I just felt like sharing it, and yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's something you needed to know, or it's something that helps you remember that you're covered. We all are. And we can really be happy despite of the situations we're going through. if we just let ourselves slow down before speeding up, if we just let ourselves, for our thinking to settle down so we can clearly see. If we could just see, we really would be amazingly happy. So there it is. There are thousands of ways of, for creating a different reality in our lives. And hopefully, one way or another, we learn how to stop, how to slow down enough so we can hear more than our own thinking. Because the moment we do, I can tell you, because I've seen it, life gets brighter. And the opportunities, they show up in a way that you haven't imagined, you can't even imagine. The opportunities for everything. So really, if you feel like stuck, if you feel like it is what it is and there's no way to change it, if you feel like, yeah, there's nothing else to do other than keep doing whatever I'm doing, whether that is at my job or my work or my business or with my relationships, give yourself a chance to go through it and see if really what you're thinking deep down feels like truth. Because if it doesn't feel that way, then you have a chance to see what really is truth in your life. And the moment you see it, your life changes. Well, guys, that's it. That's my 22-minute ramble. Hopefully it helped. At least it helped to me to put it out there, and especially in English, which is kind of weird because I keep talking in English pretty much every single day, and I have coaching conversations with my clients. But for whatever weird reason, when it comes down to, man, let's go ahead and create stuff in English, I've been kind of holding back. So this is actually one way of showing up, despite of my conditioning as well. So, well, anyway, hopefully it's helpful, and hopefully I'll come back soon with something else, because I have for sure tons of things to share. So take care and take time for yourself. Take time to question whatever it is you're thinking, and meditate if that thinking is that little mind or is really wisdom spoken to you, talking to you. See you guys. Bye. Thanks for watching.